Welcome to beautiful Milwaukee. How'd you like to be out on the lake tonight, or maybe here at Miller Park to catch the final 4 games of the home portion of the 2010 schedule? Could be offensive-type fireworks. Lorenzo Cain last night, a career-high 4 hits against the Reds. He's back in the lineup tonight. And keep your eye on this young man, Logan Morrison. He's reached base safely in 41 straight games. Will that streak continue against Milwaukee tonight? Corey Hart has hit a career-high 29 home runs. Got number 29 last night against the Reds as his all-star season continues. And Gabby Sanchez, one of the young bright stars, 81 RBIs this season, leads all rookies. Hi, everybody. Our coverage continues. The Marlins and the Brewers here on Fox Sports Wisconsin. The final 4 home games, if you will, and it could be brilliant. Could be brilliant in a lot of ways, and we'll show you how that is. Randy Wolf, for starters, was brilliant last night. Yes, indeed. 6 strong innings, just 1 earned run on 4 hits. That follows up his complete game shutout. The offense last night was brilliant. Finally, they explode for 13 runs, 19 hits. Tonight, well, he's been brilliant in his last 3 starts. Looks to make that 4 as he is out for another start here at Miller Park tonight. Also ahead, a different look. An injured all-star opens the door for some hungry rookies to play in a shuffled lineup tonight for Ken Maka. B and Rock get you set on that story, plus first pitch all on the way.
Is going to get an opportunity out in left field, one of 2 guys that are not normally in the lineup. Luis Cruz is going to get his started short, but Gamble in 83 games down in the minor leagues, very good numbers. It's all about staying healthy for Matt Gamble, and Ken Maka is going to give him a chance out in the outfield, get him some at-bats, see what he can do tonight.
Gamble had a shoulder injury earlier this year, but he is back and healthy, and he'll be in left field for the first time of his career. Yovani Gallardo is on the mound. That should help. The Brewers ace will match up against the Fighting Fish when we continue. The Florida Marlins. The Marlins have come in. They have won 3 straight. Edwin Rodriguez is their current manager, and that managerial position will be vacant at the end of the year. Rodriguez will be one of the many that interview for that job. And the Marlins, after their 2-game sweep of the Mets, Rock, they come in here with a winning record. They are 76 and 75 as we give you the Subway starting lineup for Rodriguez Marlins. No Hanley Ramirez tonight. He's out with an elbow injury, so it's Maben, Ozzie Martinez, and Logan Morrison. Logan Morrison has reached base safely in 41 consecutive games. Then you've got Dan Uggla, Gabby Sanchez, and Chad Tracy. The bottom of the order is Mike Stanton, Brad Davis, and Anibal Sanchez against Yovani Gallardo tonight.
Yeah, Yovani putting together a very nice month of September. In 3 starts, he's 2-0, a 129 earned run average. Currently 10th in the National League in strikeouts, 187 strikeouts, well on his way for a 200 strikeout season. He's only given up 3 runs in his last 21 innings of work.
Well, Gallardo has been good. Back-to-back wins against the Cubs and the Giants for the Brewers with Gallardo on the mound. You've got Matt Gamble, Lorenzo Cain, and Corey Hart in the outfield. Casey McGee, Luis Cruz, Ricky Weeks, and Prince Fielder around the horn. Jonathan Lucroy catches Gallardo tonight. So some of the September call-ups are getting a chance here this evening, as Matt Gamble will get his first career start in left field. You know he has to be battling some nerves right now. We saw Luis Cruz at short last night, but this will be his first start at the shortstop position in a Brewers uniform. Had a great year down in AAA this year. So a lot of rookies on display here with these two teams. And Gallardo's first pitch is in there for a strike, and away we go. Cameron Maybin, the Marlins leadoff hitter, a .230 average with 8 homers, 26 RBIs. Been up and down between the minor leagues and the big leagues this year.
Marlins have used an awful lot of rookies this year throughout the entire season. Guys have been hurt. They've called on the minor league system, but they're a scrappy bunch. They're a game over 500. Always seems like the Marlins hang in there.
Maybin strikes out, and Gallardo makes quick work of the Marlins leadoff hitter.
Well, the slider has been a big pitch for Yovani Gallardo lately. That last start against the Giants, he went back to the curveball. Had a good curveball, but first 2 starts in September, a lot of fastballs, a lot of sliders, and that was a slider that got Maybin.
Well, Gallardo's last 3 starts in the month of August, he allowed 6 runs, and 8 runs, respectively. As Ozzie Martinez sends one out to Corey Hart, who makes a catch. There's not much room between the foul line and the wall out there, the retaining wall that holds the fans. And Hart made a nice play for out number 2.
You got to be careful early in the count with these Marlins. They like to attack early. And Corey Hart able to make the catch right in front of the padding out there in right field. But this is a very aggressive swinging ball club. They hit some home runs. They're 6th in the National League in homers. But they've struck out the 2nd most in all of the National League. So you can get them. Got to be careful early in the count.
Now this is Logan Morrison. If you follow the game closely, you know about Morrison and how much of a story he has been with the Florida Marlins in Miami. 41 consecutive games he has reached base. The Marlins franchise record is 46, set by Luis Castillo.
Yep, that's a walk, a hit, or being hit by a pitch. So 41 in a row, very impressive.
Hitting in front of Dan Uggla. This Gallardo with a good fastball early. See that discoloration in his left eye during this streak, and we'll show it to you when we get a moment, but he actually was hit by a foul ball while he was in the on-deck circle. Many felt that that streak might come to an end because of it. But Morrison has played through that, and very scary moment for the Florida Marlins, but still has some of that discoloration in his left eye. You think you're safe in the on-deck circle, but not necessarily the case.
Yeah, guy's pretty close in that on-deck circle to home plate.
This Gallardo hits the corner for a strike.
And one thing you notice right away about Morrison, he looks about as comfortable in that batter's box as you'll see any young player. They say he's very good in hitting left-handed pitching. That's the key to his success. Hitting almost 380 against lefties. That's impressive.
Gallardo has him at 3-2 with 2 away. And a little bouncer out to McGee. Nice easy hop. And there's a good start for Yovani Gallardo. 3 up, 3 down. We head to the bottom of the first. A brand new looking order here tonight. tonight for Ken Maka. With the Reds out of town and the Marlins here, here's what Maka will post tonight. The Subway batting order with Lorenzo Cain leading off. Corey Hart bats second. In the absence of Braun, it's Ricky Weeks in the 3-hole. And then Fielder, McGee, and Matt Gamble, followed by Jonathan Lucroy, Luis Cruz, and Giovanni Gallardo. And a lineup that looks a lot like the Nashville Sounds lineup just a couple of months ago. That lineup will face Hannibal Sanchez.
Yeah, finally healthy. Hannibal Sanchez threw a no-hitter a few years ago. That came in 06. But finally healthy again. 07 to 09, limited to only 32 starts, but he is back and throwing very well this year.
Lorenzo Cain sends one to left, and that'll be run down by Morrison. Cain with 4 hits last night, whistles one to the left fielder for the first out tonight. Morrison, Maben, and Mike Stanton in the outfield, all 3 very young players. Chad Tracy and Ozzie Martinez on the left, Dan Uggla and Gabby Sanchez on the right side, with Brad Davis catching Hannibal Sanchez. There's Ozzie Martinez playing for Hanley Ramirez, who has an elbow injury. Martinez, a slick fielding shortstop. Marlins are certainly proud of their young talent coming up from their minor league system, and they usually push them to the big leagues a lot earlier than most. As Hart sends one deep to left, that is way back, and it's gone. Corey Hart. A solo home run in the first inning, and the Brewers strike quickly here tonight. It's 1-0.
Both balls hit very hard off of Sanchez. Well, first 2 hitters making good contact. Only the 8th home run allowed by Hannibal Sanchez. Does not give up many, and Corey Hart able to give one a ride into the upper deck. The second deck out there in left field. Number 30 for Corey. Talk about a line drive bullet. Got out of here quickly. Brewers picking up right where they left off last night.
And Milwaukee with 13 runs on 19 hits last night. And a milestone for Corey Hart. His 30th home and 95 RBIs now. A career year it is for Corey Hart. He continues it here tonight. Well, what a great feeling that must be to move into the ranks of the 30 home run club.
Brian Braun congratulating Corey on a terrific season and a big home run for him.
And remember, he was not in the everyday lineup until mid-May this year. Corey Hart started the season as a platoon player. And he has turned all that around for sure. Matter of fact, he signed a 3-year contract extension. Hart and Fielder with 30 home runs now, tied atop the Powerball home run leaderboard. And Ricky Weeks with 27, batting in the 3-hole tonight. And this series matches up 2 of the most prominent power hitting second basemen in all of baseball, in Weeks and Dan Uggla. 2 second basemen that hit in the middle of their batting orders for this particular game. Uggla hits 4th, Weeks hitting 3rd tonight, as Ricky is down on strikes.
Yeah, very unusual to have second baseman, for both teams with, as many home runs, 57 home runs between the 2 of them. Uggla's had 4 straight years of 30 home runs.
So a 2-minute out here in the first. A run is in on a Hart homer, and here comes Prince Fielder.
Hannibal Sanchez, coming into tonight's game, had given up the fewest number of home runs of any starting pitcher in the National League. He and Josh Johnson tied with 7. That's it.
Unfortunately, we won't see Josh Johnson. I'm sure the hitters don't mind that he's not in the rotation, but Johnson has been shut down, a back injury. One of the premier pitchers in the game, Josh Johnson, but Hannibal Sanchez is giving the Marlins a lot of hope for next year. There's a sliding play by Tracy. Well done. Chad Tracy makes an outstanding catch in foul territory to end the inning, and Fielder is retired. Great catch by Chad Tracy to end it. But the Brewers get themselves on the board early here tonight. Corey Hart, a milestone, number 30 of the season. And it's 1-0 Brewers.
First inning, and a reminder, visit the official online shop of the Brewers at brewers.com. Browse the largest online selection of authentic team gear, including official caps, t-shirts, jerseys, collectible, and much more. Get your team gear straight from the source. Shop the brewers.com shop.
Top of the second inning from Miller Park, and Dan Uggla leads off for the Marlins. 31 homers this year for Uggla, and Rock mentioned 4 consecutive seasons with 30 or more homers, and he is 2 RBIs away from that 100 plateau. He is a force. Not bad for a Rule 5 draft pick.
Yeah. Hitting almost 290, having his best season.
Kind of falls in the Casey McGee story. He was given up on by the Arizona Diamondbacks. They didn't feel like he was quite ready for the big leagues, but maybe too good for the minor leagues, and they ended up taking him off the roster. The Marlins snatched him up, and he's had a terrific career in Florida to get started. Offensively, anyway.
He's done a nice job at second base. You talk to the folks around that travel with the Marlins ball club. They say he's very underrated defensively. Probably not a guy that's going to win a Gold Glove, but he has improved quite a bit out there at second base.
He's already hit 150 career homers. Achieved that goal on August 27th in Atlanta. The first second baseman in Major League history with 430 homer seasons. That one is hit high in the air to right. Playable for Hart. And the first out of this second inning. All right, Rock, how about our Carsoup.com email the booth question tonight? Comes from Trey in Superior. And he wants to know, where would you rank Gabby Sanchez in the race for the NL Rookie of the Year?
Hey, he's up there. He's having a heck of a season as Gabby Sanchez. And Buster Posey would think be the odds-on favorite. His team is in the playoff hunt. Jaime Garcia, pitcher, he's shut down for the year. He's done. He's not going to pitch anymore. Not sure how that's going to affect him, but I tell you, Gabby Sanchez is a guy that nobody really talks a whole lot about. But he is putting together a nice year.
19 homers, 81 runs batted in. The difference between Sanchez and Hayward and Posey are key members of teams that are in a pennant race right now, and that might swing the vote to Buster Posey, although Posey was not here to start the season. And it goes back to that argument. Brian Braun knows this argument all too well. When he won the Rookie of the Year over Troy Tulowitzki, fans in Colorado still think Tulowitzki should have been the Rookie of the Year because he made the team out of spring training.
And so did Gabby Sanchez. I mean, he's got 140 games under his belt. You don't have any idea how much wear and tear that is on a young player.
That is a strikeout that bounces into the seats. So a wild pitch. Lucroy could not keep it in front. And despite the strikeout, Gabby Sanchez will reach.
Man, there's that power curveball. Yo had a good one his last time out against the Giants. That's a pitch that you have to block. You know it's going to be in the dirt. Right off the plate, it skips to the left of Lucroy. Right off the plate. And it looked like it really didn't ricochet a whole lot, but Jonathan will tell you should have had it.
That's a base runner. It's the third strikeout already for Gallardo, who is throwing hard tonight. I don't know if our gun is dialed up a notch or two, but he's already topped out at 96 miles an hour, and that's not normally where Gallardo sits with his velocity.
He sounds like he's throwing hard. That glove's popping pretty good. Yeah, the gun might be cranked up, and the microphone behind home plate might be cranked up a bit, but it sounds pretty good.
That's just a credit to our great audio team, as you know.
Yeah.
Microphones everywhere. Especially if you're watching in high definition with the full surround sound. Into left, first chance for Matt Gamble. And he's got it. He didn't exactly look graceful doing it, but he has his first put out in the big leagues in left field.
It's not how, it's how many.
Well, you know he's glad to get that one over with.
In this game, that was a relatively easy play. Ball slicing away from him down the line, and first one's out of the way. That's the thing about playing left and right. Ball's going to slice. Left-handers out to left field. It's going to slice toward the line. Right-handers to right field will slice as well. That's something to get used to.
Well, Gamble does have a great throwing arm. Came up as a third baseman, getting a chance in the outfield here today. Big swing and a miss from Mike Stanton. So this is a big test, and Ed Cedar has been working hard with Gamble to get him ready for this opportunity. Taking a lot of fly balls since he arrived. There's a strike. Gallardo hits the corner, and it's 0-2. There's Ed Cedar. He's in charge of the outfielders and the base runners for the Brewers.
We'll be paying particular attention to where Matty is setting up out there in left field.
No balls, 2 strikes to Stanton. Good block that time by Lucroy.
Did you happen to watch this guy take batting practice today?
It's impressive.
Wow.
Impressive. He is a man's man.
Every ball off his bat just has that different sound to it.
Had a football scholarship to USC. He's out of the Los Angeles area. Signed with the Marlins instead. And it sounded a lot like that. That's a base hit, and Gallardo lucky he avoided that whistle.
Yeah, I tell you, that was a hanging slider right down the middle of the plate. Nice short stroke for Stanton, and just the way that ball just jumps off his bat, doesn't overswing. The Marlins were talking about this guy when the Brewers were in Florida. What was that, early June? And they said he's not long for the minor leagues. He's going to be up with the Marlins. He came up, he's got 20 homers.
In just 89 games. 20 home runs and 316 at-bats. Now, during the course of a season, if you play every day, like Stanton will eventually, you'll get around 600 at-bats. So if you want to do the simple math, just double the 20, and that's what kind of power threat Mike Stanton is the Marlins feel. And that is not exactly a hitter-friendly ballpark in Miami.
Yeah, that's the impressive thing about Dan Uggla, what he's been able to do in 4 years over there in Florida.
So rookies with 20 or more homers before the age of 21. Stanton is still 20. Willie Mays, Eddie Matthews, and Tony Conigliaro. Tony Conigliaro is still one of the most disappointing injury stories in baseball history. He was hit by a pitch and never realized his potential after he had 24 homers in his rookie year with the Red Sox. That is off the glove of Gallardo, and Weeks shovels it over to Cruz. Nicely done. And it ends up as a 1-4-6 putout. Weeks a little scoop to the bag to end the frame.
Marlins by a run, and Brian Anderson mentioned off the top of our broadcast a different lineup tonight featuring Lorenzo Cain leading things off, and we'll see Matt Gamble second this inning. And Ken Maka mentioned that he was going to go with several guys that you normally don't see, meaning Luis Cruz, because this is a series that the team is not a contender, and he want to make sure he gets him a couple of starts. As for Matt Gamble, he got his chance because Ryan Braun got hit by the pitch last night in his left elbow, and he wanted to give him a day off. So seeing some different guys in the lineup and guys getting some opportunities to show what they can do, guys.
And there's the competitive balance situation as well. Ken Maka has been pointing to this day, and you know, he's had to hold off his September call-ups because the Brewers have played pennant contenders, and there is the protecting the field quality to the Brewers manager. He wants to make sure that, you know, when you match up against the Giants, you're putting out your everyday lineup. But now that the Marlins are here, they are out of contention, eliminated from postseason possibility. Now it's a chance to get a look at some guys in a big league setting.
Yeah, rested away, 11 games. You got the Mets, they're not in contention, and you would figure that the Cincinnati Reds will have clinched by the time the Brewers get there, you know, to end the season.
And if you're wondering why Matt Gamble's not playing third base, well, Casey McGee, as you take a look at Mark Rogers, who will start tomorrow. Casey McGee is approaching a milestone as well, and I would imagine if and when McGee gets to 100 RBIs, and he's at 99 now, you might see Gamble get a shot at third base. There's a swing and a miss. McGee down on strikes. And the second strikeout for Anibal Sanchez.
Yeah, good breaking ball by Sanchez. He's got a variety of different breaking balls, a curveball and a slider. He'll throw a cutter as well. And a very good changeup. His changeup might be his second best pitch. He locates his fastball well. And he's been throwing a lot of strikes this year.
Well, he has achieved a milestone here tonight. This is his 30th start of the season, Anibal Sanchez. which he has done for the first time. As you see Gammel's minor league numbers, Gammel had a game winner for the Brewers in Houston last week. It was an RBI double in extra innings. It gave the Brewers one win in that 3-game series in Houston.
He's got 3 hits off the bench so far. He made 1 start, and that was in Houston. But all of his hits have come as a pinch hitter.
He is 3 for 12 for the season with 1 RBI. And Gammel's down on strikes, so back-to-back Ks for Sanchez. Gives him 3 already.
And Sanchez doing the best he can to avoid throwing Gammel fastball. A lot of off-speed pitches, changeups in particular. Gammel, a very good fastball hitter, and when he throws the fastball, it was in off the plate. Here comes a changeup, left it up in the zone. Gammel files it off. Another changeup, went back to it, and there's that slider. A slider or cutter, depending on how you look at it. I think he throws both. The slider's going to have more of a break, more of a downward action on it. The cutter just go in on a lefty.
Well, he looks like the Anibal Sanchez of 06 as Lucroy singles to left field. 2-out base hit for the rookie catcher. And a base runner extends the inning for Luis Cruz. Cruz is 0 for 3 in the big leagues. Slick fielding shortstop. He made a great play last night, started a double play. And we're going to have to get a camera on him during infield practice during BP. When he takes fungos, this guy is a magician.
Yeah, that ball's not in his glove very long, on its way to either second or first base. And you see the glove he uses during infield practice? It's kind of one of those Joe Morgan little gloves.
It's just a little thing.
Yeah.
Barely even covers his fingers.
Well, if you can catch ground balls with that, you can certainly catch it with the gamer.
Hot shot right to second. Ugla will make the play for the final out of the inning. So the Brewers come up empty in the second. Cruz hit it well, nothing to show for it. We go to the 3rd inning. Gallardo and Sanchez, 1-0 Brew Crew. By Piggly Wiggly, the official supermarket of Fox Sports Wisconsin. And by Ho Chunk Gaming Wisconsin, your ticket to more. Under the lights of Miller Park, the roof is open tonight. Cool front blowing in here as we speak. Actually got up into the mid-80s today in Milwaukee. Felt like a hot summer day here as opposed to the first day of fall. Gallardo has looked good so far. He has 2 strikeouts. Giving up just the one hit to the Marlins. Stranded a couple of base runners last inning. The first base runner he allowed reached after a strikeout. It was a wild pitch on the swing and the miss. And he's looking for a big September push. He's off to a great start in the month of September. We're talking about those 3 outings at the end of August. Gallardo allowed 20 earned runs in 3 starts to finish the month of August. 20 earned runs. Very un-Gallardo-like. And it was capped off by an 8-run effort against the Cincinnati Reds. Since then, he's given up just 3 runs in his last 3 starts.
And there was some quiet concern about the way Yo was pitching. You know, coming off the disabled list with that oblique injury, and really wasn't himself. But well, he really turned things around once September came. His last 3 very good. 3 runs he's allowed in 21 innings in September.
There's a swing and a miss. Gives you an idea of his stuff. Sanchez waves at a breaking ball. And Gallardo's 3rd strikeout. Well, the thing about his last 3 games, Rock, he has done it without much offense. Matter of fact, he's provided some of the offense. His last 2 wins, a 2-0 victory over the Cubs and a 2-1 win in San Francisco his last time out.
Well, it's very encouraging that one of his best pitches in his last start against the Giants was the curveball. He was really having a tough time with that pitch and not throwing it a lot until his last time out. And you remember that was the pitch that he threw against the Cardinals. It was the curveball that gave him the problem and ended up with that oblique injury.
2-0, 1.29 ERA cumulative in his last 3. And he looks like he has that kind of stuff here tonight. You never know what will happen in this game, but you can always tell by the crispness of his stuff. The breaking ball, the slider, the curveball. Those are all complementary pitches.
Fastball has some good finish to it, staying on the corners, a little bit of a jump at the end, and that's why you hear that glove popping, you know, Lucroy as he catches it.
Such an arsenal, and that's why Gallardo is considered an ace. He is certainly the ace of the Brewers, but league-wide, there were some questions there. Is Gallardo a true ace when he was going through his struggles and he was coming back from the injury? And I think Giovanni has answered those questions here with his September run. There aren't many who command 4 pitches like he does. And there's a breaking ball, and Maben is down on strikes. And Gallardo with back-to-back Ks. He's racked up 4 strikeouts in the early going.
Yep, 191 strikeouts now for Giovanni Gallardo, 9 away from a 200 strikeout year. There's that curveball that put away the power curveball, the strikeout pitch. He threw one earlier in that at bat to Maven, the get-me-over curveball, just to throw it for a strike, something other than a fastball. Early in the count, that's very important against a team like the Marlins.
And a good job back there by Lucroy on a similar curveball in the dirt. Ozzie Martinez, he flew out to right his first time up. Just 3 games in the major leagues, making his 2nd start at shortstop for the injured Hanley Ramirez. He made a great play yesterday against the Mets. And Ozzie Martinez making many baseball fans think about Ozzie Smith with his glove work yesterday. The Marlins have used the most rookies in the majors this year. 19 rookies, and 14 of those 19 made their major league debuts. As Martinez waves at one, Lucroy gets the tag on him quickly so he doesn't have to throw it. And Giovanni Gallardo strikes out the side. He has 5. He looks like he is on his A game tonight. We could see something special here. The Brewers MVP is this season. Text the corresponding letter to 234-234. Message and data rates may apply. 1-0. The Crew leading the Florida Marlins on a Corey Hart home run. Hart's 30th homer of the season. And it is Giovanni Gallardo leading off for the Brewers. Gallardo hitting .259. And if you follow the Crew, you know how well he swings the bat. Not this time, however. Fly ball into left, one away in the third.
Yeah, 19 rookies this year for the Florida Marlins. That's a lot of rookies. And remember, these guys are one game over 500. So with all the young players that they've called on from the farm system, they've been able to stay competitive in a very good division.
Well, they had the Rookie of the Year last year. That's what's interesting about the Marlins club. Chris Coughlin was the Rookie of the Year last season. Beat out Casey McGee, among others. Hanley Ramirez not in the lineup once again tonight, so they're missing some of their bigger names. Chris Coughlin is out with a knee injury. Actually required knee surgery back in July. The surgery occurred in August, but the injury happened at the end of July. So he's out for the season. Josh Johnson has been shut down for the season. But you have to give the Marlins organization a lot of credit. Their baseball operations, even though they fired Freddie Gonzalez, their manager this year, they have been able to win, keep that continuity. And they are in anticipation of opening up a new ballpark. Foul ball is the call from DJ Rayburn.
And it was a late call. Renzo Cain said right away that ball went off his foot. You wonder why, because had he run hard out of the box, that would have been a base hit the way Lorenzo gets down the line. It's that sinking fastball from Anibal Sanchez, and Cain pounds it right off his foot.
Well, Cain 4 for 5 last night. And a bouncing ball to Ugla. Easy hop for him. 2-minute round. So the Marlins are set to open up this brand new retractable roof stadium on the site of the former Orange Bowl. And it'll open in 2012. So they have another year at their current stadium, which is named
Sun Life Stadium. Right?
Very good. Sun Life Stadium. It's had a few names over the last few years.
I didn't know I was going to have a pop quiz tonight. Well, that thing's been named how many times?
I knew you were there. I knew you had it. But when they move into this new stadium, they feel like immediately they will be able to raise payroll. They're going to draw well. They won't have to deal with those afternoon showers.
Yeah, that's a tough place to play. I mean, it rains just about every day. It's so hot there in South Florida, but that stadium, they can cool off and you don't have to worry about rain. Hope that the Marlins are going to draw because they're always competitive. They always seem to find ways to stay in games and play around 500 every year.
Now they get huge television ratings, the Florida Marlins. So that's kind of what they're hoping for, that because of the ballpark, as Hart bangs one over to the shortstop Martinez and on into left field. So Corey Hart has 2 of the 3 hits. That'll be a single for Corey and a 2-out base runner.
Yep, a slider that stayed up in the strike zone, and Corey a little bit out in front, but able to hit it hard enough. Kept the hands back long enough to barely get it out of the reach of Martinez at shortstop. Martinez able to knock it down, but still got into left field for the hit.
Good start to his night. Corey is 2 for 2 with a homer and a single. And now here's Weeks. It's a little bit unusual to see Weeks anywhere but the leadoff spot in the batting order. But without Ryan Braun, who is out with a bruise on his elbow after he was hit by a pitch yesterday, it's Weeks who fills that spot.
Brawny was swinging the bat well, wasn't he? I mean, last time that happened, Tommy Hanson hit him. Of course, the difference between now and then, Hanson hit him with a 96-mile-an-hour fastball last night. what was it, LeCure? Hit him about 88. So you hope he's not going to be out for any extended period of time.
Called strike 3 on Weeks. Inning is over. Sanchez, a scoreless third. We head to the 4th. Off. Gallardo with 5 strikeouts. He struck out the side in the 3rd inning. Giving up just 1 hit. A single by Mike Stanton. There's a strike. Morrison hitting .308. 2 homers, 16 RBIs. Just 199 big league at bats this year.
How about the on base percentage for Morrison? .423. That includes an out that he made in the 1st inning.
41 in a row will do that for you.
Wow. That's amazing. Young player with that kind of an eye at the plate. Not afraid to take some pitches, hit with 2 strikes.
Well, the 41 game streak almost ended on September 5th. This wicked foul ball that hit Morrison, and it hit him on the left side of his face, right under his eye socket.
Man.
And we showed you his eye earlier, but it was a scary moment. He's very fortunate he came out of that one all right. As he strikes out, and Gallardo has 4 consecutive strikeouts. You know, we were talking about Tony Conigliaro a moment ago, and home runs by a rookie. Well, Tony Conigliaro's, you can actually see the laces of that baseball on his face, and that reminded me a lot of what Conigliaro had, except Conigliaro was hit in the eye.
Right. Right on it.
Right on the eye. And
on a pitch.
He actually came back, Conigliaro did, and had a decent year, but never the same hitter. But I think Logan Morrison has past that hurdle. You know, that's the first thing you think of. You see a guy get hit like that. I mean, it's been almost 20 days, and he still has some residual marks there.
Yeah, that's 1 in a million to get a hit where he was standing. You don't expect to get a hit when you're literally almost right behind the hitter. I mean, pretty much dead even with him.
Did you ever get hit in the face? Or the head? Or
oh, yeah, by a
batter?
pitch? Oh, yeah. In the ear and the neck. Mm-hmm. John Candelaria hit me in the neck with a pitch when he was with the Yankees.
And I know Morrison wasn't at the plate when it happened, but it still brings the reality in that this baseball can do some kind of damage.
Right, it can. Even with a helmet on, you got to be careful. But you know, that's a freak accident, just like the Tyler Colvin incident. You know, kind of a freak accident that, you know, 1 in a million once again. But sometimes it's going to happen.
Ugla flew out to right his last time up in a hitter's count with one away. And he bangs one to center field. Easy play for Kane. 2 up, 2 down for Giovanni Gallardo. And that leads us to our AT&T trivia question. Who was the first player in Brewers history to drive in 100 RBIs in a season? The first player in franchise history to do it. A franchise that began in 1970. On the ground to Cruz. Inning over. 3 up, 3 down for Gallardo. 6 strikeouts for Yo. He's given up just 1 hit.
Subs game reset. Corey Hartwith, home run number 30, gives the Brewers a 1-0 lead, and so far that stood up for Giovanni Gallardo. Now 4th start in the month of September that's been very good. 6 punch-outs for Yo, no walks. He's only allowed 1 base hit. So good start to the night for the Brew Crew.
On a Corey Hart home run, the Brewers have the lead. His 30th home run of the season. And Hart with 95 RBIs now. Fielder right back to the mound. Sanchez will make the play. 1 out in the 4th. Sanchez looks good too. We mentioned his 06 season. That's when he was impressive, and he actually had a no-hitter that year. That was really his last healthy season. And if you're wondering why Major League teams these days are so careful with young pitchers and innings pitched, it goes back to the 06 Marlins and the way they used Anibal Sanchez, and there's a lot of innings with Sanchez that year, including that no-hitter. He threw his no-hitter on September 6th of 2006, and it was against the Arizona Diamondbacks, the 4th Marlins pitcher to no-hit an opponent. It's hard to believe the Brewers have had 1 no-hitter in their franchise history. The Marlins, not only do they have 4 no-hitters, they've been to a World Series a couple of times, and they've won a World Series.
Yep. And they won that World Series with Jim Leyland at the helm, and that was the year that the whole team just about were free agents. Didn't use many out of their farm system, but that has certainly changed in South Florida. You talk to Craig Counsell about that team, and he'll get a big smile on his face. At one of 2 world championships for Counsell.
Counsell scored the World Series winning run for the Florida Marlins, 1997. And what goes a little bit under the radar, because his image of scoring that run is all over the place in Miami, but the fact that he had the sacrifice fly that tied the game, that forced extra innings. That was against Jose Mesa of the Cleveland Indians. As McGee singles to right. A base hit for Casey McGee with one away in the fourth.
That's a pretty swing right there for Casey. That cut fastball that stayed up in the zone. It was away, but Casey just flicked the end of the bat out there, got on top of it, hit it hard to right. That's a good piece of hitting for McGee. Not trying to pull it. A little bit off the plate, but it was up, and Casey able to reach out and hit it hard into right field. Good at bat, good swing.
Well, the Marlins beat the Indians in '97. They beat the Yankees in 2003. Their 2 World Series championships, and they feel like with this group of young players all coming together at the same time as this new stadium opens in 2012, I feel like they'll have another shot at it. They do have to find a manager, though. Fired Freddie Gonzalez. Edwin Rodriguez has taken over in an interim role, and by all accounts he's done a great job. Certainly the record speaks for itself, but this is a man who is highly thought of, well respected in the baseball circuit.
Well, they're 3 games over 500 under the new manager. Not that Freddie Gonzalez did that bad of a job, but there were some issues, swirling around, and some clubhouse issues with Gonzalez and Hanley Ramirez. And of course, if you have that kind of a problem, who's going to go, right? Hanley Ramirez is still around. Freddie Gonzalez will, I would imagine, be high on the list for many teams for a manager's job this offseason.
And many feel that he's destined to end up in Atlanta to replace Bobby Cox, who is in his final season as a big league skipper. Two and two the count on Gamble. Inside corner, he got him. Gamble is down on strikes. Back-to-back Ks for Matt Gamble, and that is strikeout number 5 for Anibal Sanchez. AT&T Trivia, the first player in Brewers history to drive in 100. And we take you back to the Boomer, George Scott, 1973. And his career with the Brewers, an all-star with Milwaukee. 463 runs batted in.
He's a big man, but he was a pretty good first baseman, too.
And it was George Scott and the trade of George Scott that allowed the Brewers to acquire another major run producer. Maybe that should be our next trivia question. How many does AT&T get a night?
You mean Cecil Cooper?
Oh, yeah. Well, that's it. Never mind. All that drama build up just to be.
I thought you wanted me to answer that question.
Oh, well, you know all the Brewers trivia. That's why you're the Brewers analyst.
No, I don't know all of it. Sometimes you get stumped. But tonight's was pretty easy.
Trade in 1976. George Scott went to the Red Sox, and Bernie Carbo went to the Red Sox. And of course, Bernie Carbo had that famous at-bat in the World Series, hitting a home run. Things worked out pretty well for the Brew Crew, however.
Yeah. Koopy spent a lot of years driving in runs around here. Played a slick first base. Good to see Koopy for that Selig statue dedication last month. Looks good. Says he wants to manage again. Get back into baseball.
Cecil was here as part of the 40th anniversary celebration as well. He recognized with his own bobblehead this year. Brewers Cecil Cooper bobblehead, which has been the theme this season, the 40th anniversary. Lucroy sends one to center field. That ball's pretty well hit, but Maben will run it down. And Lucroy is retired. The inning is done for the Brewers. We head to the 5th.
Lead over the Marlins as they will take their bat here in the top half of the 5th inning. I'm out in left field, and I'm pleased to be joined by Tom Morrison, the father of Logan Morrison. And if you don't know Logan and Tom's story, Tom is battling lung cancer in the 4th stage, and he's getting an opportunity to see his son play in the big leagues. And every time he puts on that big league uniform, how does that make you feel as a proud papa?
Like there's a lot of work going into it, a lot of effort and time, and just certain kids can do it. They got the right frame of mind. He loves going to work. God love him.
He's come up, well, he was called up in July, and he's been really on a tear as of late. And just to see him accomplish his goal, but also flourish at this level, has to make you feel good as well, correct?
Oh, it's wonderful to see that. I mean, what parent wouldn't love to see their child live their dream? It's just, I wouldn't think any different if he'd want to be a doctor, and that's what he was. You know, it's just this is more visible. It's nice to see your child succeed in what they want to do.
Well, this is not your first visit to Miller Park, but little that people may know, you don't fly. You guys actually took the train up from Slidell, Louisiana. But you said to me off camera that you really like Miller Park. And what is it about the dimensions that you like in this ballpark?
I like the fact that it's cool here compared to where I live, the weather, and I also like the fact that if it gets nasty, you can pull that roof shut. In New Orleans, you can't do that. It just rains on you. It's just uncomfortable in Florida and New Orleans.
And finally, for you to have these left field seats, is this because you want to keep a close eye on your boy?
Well, you know, he's learned left field, and I like to see how he's learning to judge the ball and how he's reacting to it. I saw him in New York and at Mets Park, and he's still learning. And probably the hardest one's down in Miami because they got the football lights, and he's got the big, tall wall. So he's learning how to play the wall and do some things he never did. First base doesn't teach you all this stuff he's learning out there.
Tom, I really appreciate your time, and I'll let you get back to enjoying the game.
Thank you, sir.
All right, B.A., let's send it back up to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Telly, and certainly wish the best for Logan's father. And he was on a 30-hour train trip to New York and liked it so much, he said, I'm going to jump on the train and come to Milwaukee. And that's the beautiful thing about the train.
Yeah.
It allows you to come right into downtown Milwaukee. And he was talking about Logan learning left field. Logan was a first baseman coming up, and a very good first baseman, but with Gabby Sanchez having the year he's having, there's not much room at first base. So Logan is in left field now, and it's a brand new position he's trying to learn. But his bat is why he is in left field, especially after the injury to Chris Coughlin.
And if you can hit, I mean, you got to find a spot for him. And left field is one of those outfield spots where you start. You don't throw a guy out in center field. At least you don't normally. And with Coughlin coming back, perhaps next year, you never know. I mean, who knows what the Marlins are going to be thinking about doing? But you got to find a spot. You can't DH him in the National League. You got to find a spot to stand him somewhere in the outfield to wait for his at bats. He's coming along nicely. The Marlins are very pleased with the way he's come along in right field. Or I should say left field.
From one rookie to another, Mike Stanton singled his last time up, one of just 2 Marlins hits, both singles. Gallardo picks up another strikeout. That is number 7 for Yovani Gallardo.
Yeah, good breaking ball getting Stanton. Didn't hang it that time. Last time up, Stanton got a hanging slider. Banged it right back through the middle. This time a curveball gets him. Good pitch by Yo. High school and college students can purchase select tickets for half price on Fridays, courtesy of Time Warner Cable. The first 250 students get a free T-shirt. For details, visit brewers.com/students.
1 out for Brad Davis. Seven Ks for Gallardo. His season high is 12. Gallardo had 12 strikeouts against the Minnesota Twins back in June. Then he had 12 again against the Cubs in early August. All 7 of his strikeouts have been swinging strike threes at this point. Brad Davis started the year as the backup catcher in AAA. Now he's catching every day in the big leagues.
And they've gone through 3 catchers, 4 including Davis.
No broken bat, little flare, and that one is going to fall for a base hit. So Gallardo made a good pitch, shattered the bat of the catcher Davis, but it ends up as a single, and 2 on with 1 away.
And no man's land, not much anybody could do with that. Matt Gammel's been playing a very deep left field, but I don't think it would have mattered. That ball right where nobody could get it. Cruz not able to get out in time. And Lorenzo Cain was closest to it, but that'll be a base hit.
So the pitcher Sanchez will bat. He struck out his last time up. Brewers would love to see a ground ball here. Sanchez is up there to bunt the runners over. And it's a good one. Gallardo pounces on it quickly. Good play by the Brewers pitcher. And the second out. Sacrifice bunt for Anibal Sanchez. And the Marlins have 2 in scoring position now with 2 outs, and the top of the order coming up. The athletic Gallardo, he made it easy on himself. Pretty good bunt by Sanchez.
Yeah, very good bunt. Rolls it right down the line. Yo able to get there, and all in one motion, a good throw to Ricky at first. A nice bunt by Sanchez. A lot of guys out on the mound. That might be a base hit.
Well, the sod comes under the foot of Gallardo. Good thing no injury there for Yovani. Maben swinging at the first pitch again. Two on, 2 out. Cameron Maben batting for the 3rd time. Gallardo has struck him out twice. Maben was in the same draft as Ryan Braun back in '05. He was one of the top picks in the country. I remember Talking to Jack Zarensik about that 05 draft that included Braun and Troy Tulowitzki, Ryan Zimmerman, Cameron Maben. A lot of discussion for the Brewers. He could have very easily ended up in a Milwaukee uniform. Instead, he went to the Tigers and then was traded from Detroit to the Florida Marlins 2 seasons ago.
I think the Brewers made the right choice. What do you think?
That was a good call. But a lot of those guys have had great success. You know, Ryan Zimmerman and Tulowitzki. Of course, Braun is probably the cream of the crop.
Yeah.
His 3rd consecutive starting nod as an all-star. Braun went 5th overall. I remember Jack saying if Braun was not available, Cameron Maben was probably the next guy on the list for him. You never know how to work out. The 05 draft. That was the year that Justin Upton went on the top spot. Then Alex Gordon and Jeff Clement. Ryan Zimmerman, the first to the big leagues of this group. But Ricky Romero is having a great season with the Blue Jays. Cameron Maben went down 10th.
How far down Troy Tulowitzki ended up?
7th that year.
He's turned out to be a pretty good player.
I would say so. Troy Tulowitzki, as Maben draws the walk, has put himself into the MVP race after that stretch of 14 home runs in 15 games. Trying to lead the Rockies back to the postseason in consecutive years.
Not sure what's going on with Colorado. They've lost 3 straight.
And a day with the Arizona Diamondbacks tonight. Jeff Francis against Ian Kennedy tonight. As the Rockies are, at this moment, with a little over a week left, on the outside looking in.
I think that was going to be their Achilles heel down the stretch. They played not very good away from Coors Field this year. The road record not very good, and that's where they've been losing.
Bases loaded and a foul ball from Martinez. Chad Tracy started the inning with a single. Brad Davis singled, a broken bat hit, and then Maben walked. And the first walk, by the way, given up by Gallardo to go along with his 7 Ks. 1-0 Brewers. Corey Hart homered in the first. Gallardo with the bases loaded behind him.
96 miles an hour for Yo. That's getting it up there. We haven't seen too many of those from him throughout his career. He threw one at 95 in the first inning.
One and 2. Well, it'll be Gallardo's last start at Miller Park of the season.
And the way Martinez swung at it, it looks like it's 95. Blew it right by him.
That's what they say, right? The hitters will let you know.
Yeah.
See what he has in mind for him here. 1-2 pitch in the dirt. Excellent block by Jonathan Lucroy.
Well, what an improvement he's made blocking pitches in the dirt. He and Brad Fisher have worked very hard since he's come up, and that saves a run for Gallardo. Look how far away outside that pitch is, and he's able to square himself and keep it right in front of him. Well done. Textbook.
Saves a run. Fisher has to be proud of that. The 2-2 pitch from Gallardo. In the air. Pop up 2 weeks. And the Marlins strand the bases full. Gallardo is out of it. A couple of hits and a walk, but a 0 on the board, and it's still 1-0. You'll like them. By Airtran. Go, there's nothing stopping you. And by GMC. We are professional grade. Back at Miller Park. Beautiful night for baseball here. Thursday night baseball between the Brewers and the Florida Marlins. 1-0 our score. The Brewers lead it as Luis Cruz sends one to left. Long run for Morrison. And that ball will fall. It's a fair ball as it trickles down into the corner. And Cruz is on his way to third. And he'll make it a triple for Luis Cruz. He hit a rocket in the second inning for an out. A little flare goes for a three-bagger here in the fifth.
Yeah, there's that little inexperience out there in left field rearing its head. He might play that one a little bit differently. Yeah, they're playing him in the gap, not expecting Cruz to pull the baseball. He got under it quite a bit. And you would figure with that much air underneath it, probably should have been caught by Morrison out there in left. Bounces over his head, Cruz all the way to third base.
So Cruz leads off with a triple, the first triple of his career. He had a little time with the Pirates in 08 and 09. 22 games and 27 games respectively, but his first three-bagger in the big leagues as a Brewer. Infield is in. Gallardo takes a strike. 0-2 to count. Gives you an idea about Gallardo. He is such a competitor and such a good hitter. He's one of the few pitchers that actually complains at the plate when he doesn't get a call.
Well, you got to be careful of that. You want to get the same pitch when you're out there, right?
A pop up. Sanchez runs out of room. And the count stays at 0-2. Well, Gallardo hopes to bring in Cruz. He's having a little fun at third base. And a self pat on the back.
He's a good kid. If you talk to him, he has got a lot of energy.
Bouncer to second. Ugla makes a play. Cruz cannot score. So Giovanni is out and Cruz still at third.
Very respectful young man is Luis Cruz. Hey, that brings us to tonight's Tavern of the Game winner. It's the Bloomfield Bar and Grill in Weyauwega, Wisconsin. That's on Highway 1045, just west of Oshkosh, if you didn't know.
Yep.
Weyauwega. If they call the Brewers in the next 24 hours, they get 40 Miller Lite beer pen tickets to an April or May 2011 Brewers home game. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and our good friends at Miller Lite. Weyauwega.
Why not? Owega.
I get it.
That was a weak courtesy laugh. Kane over to third. Tracy gloves it. 2 outs. Cruz still standing at third base. So the Marlins bring their infield in. So far it's paid off. And now Corey Hart is coming up. And Hart a milestone homer in the first inning. Powerball home run number 30 for Corey Hart.
Fastball in, and he turned it around. And boy, what a season for Corey. It's been a season that nobody would have ever anticipated when you watched him in spring training. We've been talking about it all year, but it is amazing. You know, the turnaround. Mid-May, Corey Hart starts in right field, and look what's happened since. Can't tell that story enough, Brian.
I agree. That's why Corey Hart and Casey McGee, when you look at the seasons they have had, it'll be an interesting vote, interesting race for the Brewers season MVP this year between those two, I feel. Corey Hart and Casey McGee. See if Hart can drive one in with 2 away. 1-0 Brewers. And into shallow center. That's falling fast. That's down for a hit. A base hit for Hart. A 2-out RBI single. And it's 2-0 Milwaukee.
Well, right off the end of the bat, able to dump it into center field. They were playing Corey very deep in the outfield. Cameron Maben very deep, not able to get there. Didn't get a very good jump. Not a bad pitch by Anibal Sanchez again. Fastball down and away. Corey with the quick hands. Able to dump it in there, and with 2 outs, Brewers able to pick up another run.
So Cruz finally scores from third base after a leadoff triple. And here is Ricky Weeks. Hart takes off. Throw to second. He is late. Skips into center field. Hart on his feet. He'll end up at third. A stolen base and a throwing error.
Yep, a big jump by Corey Hart. You don't see Corey run much, not with Ryan Braun at the plate, but Ryan not in there tonight. Ricky Weeks, the number 3 hitter, so Corey takes the opportunity, didn't waste any time, and not a very good throw by Davis.
Well, maybe Ugla could have taken that one in front of the sliding Hart, but the error belongs to Davis. And the stolen base is number 7 for Corey Hart. So now he's at third with 2 away, and Weeks is quickly down 0-2. It's been a tough matchup for Weeks. He has struck out twice. Ricky hoping to pick up his 80th run batted in. Most of that done from the leadoff spot. High chopper, and that's a base hit. Another 2-out RBI single. The Brewers lead 3-0 as Weeks drives in his 80th of the year.
Yeah, it looked like Sanchez was going to get out of the inning, but base hits by Corey and Ricky give the Brewers a 3-0 lead. A good battle by Ricky Weeks. Ricky was having a tough time picking up that Sanchez cut fastball. The cutter, slider, whatever you want to call it. This time he gives him a fastball, and Ricky finds its way into center field. There it is. He pounds it into the ground in front of home plate. A little top spin on it, and gets into center for an RBI.
A 2-out, 2-strike RBI single for Weeks. Well, what a year he's having. All started by Cruz, and the triple down the left field line. Weeks is a threat to run as well. Well, he's got to be careful in front of Fielder, and probably a different scenario tonight for Ricky Weeks, batting in front of Prince, immediately in front of him.
Yeah, Ricky's already in scoring position with Prince up there. Plus, Prince has that hole to work with first baseman holding him on.
2-1.
Yeah, nothing really hit all that well against Sanchez in this inning. Actually, the hardest hit baseball was the out by Lorenzo Cain. Brewers doing, as they say, hitting them where they ain't. That's the key.
Corey Hart with 3 hits and 2 RBIs. Weeks 1 for 3 with an RBI. And now Prince a chance to add to it. 2-2. Had a notion.
High fastball, 83 miles an hour. Swings right through it. Good swing, though, for Prince.
Even his swings and misses are entertaining.
They get oohs and ahs even when he misses.
Prince is 0 for 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Fielder. Back out of play. Well, Prince has company now at the top of the home run leaderboard. He and Corey Hart with 30 home runs apiece. Fielder leads the league in walks. His on base percentage is .403 despite a .266 batting average. And he is down on strikes. So Fielder is gone. The inning is over, but the Brewers get 2 runs on 3 hits, and it's 3-0. Giovanni Gallardo back to work as we play in the 6th inning at Miller Park. 3-0 Brew Crew. Beautiful moon out tonight. Roof is open. Has a touch of summer feel to it this evening. Some humidity in the air. It's supposed to cool down tomorrow, Rock. You better bring your jacket.
Got plenty of them up here.
Bring your sweater. Or one of those big hands. Keep your hands warm like that. Logan Morrison leading off for the Marlins. And Morrison called for a strike. Home plate umpire DJ Rayburn said he swung. His dad says, no way that's a strike. I could see it all the way out here from left field. From Slidell, Louisiana. Morrison played his college ball at a community college in Kansas City, Maple Woods Community College. And if you feel like you've heard of that before, as Morrison sends one out to Kane, and he's got it for the out. That's the college that Albert Pujols went to,
yep,
who hit his 40th home run today. Say, be sure to join us tomorrow night as we are giving you behind-the-scenes access to our show here on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Starting at 6:30, you can join us to see how the production comes together and see how the inside makings of a broadcast work. Plus, you'll be able to log on to foxsportswisconsin.com for even more content. All starting tomorrow here on Fox Sports Wisconsin. There's a base hit to right by Dan Uggla. A one-out single for the Marlins second baseman. So Albert Pujols hits his 40th home run of the season earlier today, and the Cardinals win. How about Jose Bautista in the first inning of a 1-0 Jays win over Seattle? He bangs out his 50th home run of the season.
What a surprise that is, huh? Jose Bautista, who would have thought?
Ichiro with another 200 hit season. 10 straight. The first player in the history of the game.
Wow.
Bautista's home run, by the way, number 50. Obviously a career high. You know what his previous career high was?
How many?
16.
Yeah. I knew one many. How about Ichiro, though? Another 200 hit season. He had 262 of them that one year to break the all-time record, hits record in a season.
All right, Rock, we're looking at 50 homer seasons now. Fielder in 07. Alex Rodriguez hit 54 in the American League that year. And there has not been one in this second coming of the year of the pitcher until this year. And Bautista, for his career, had 58 home runs coming into this year. As Lucroy fires to first. Uggla's back.
Amazing. Something in the water up there in Kansas or Toronto.
Bautista in 6 seasons in the big leagues. Many of those were up and down between the minor leagues and the major leagues. Had 58 career homers. He has 50 this season. Playing for his 6th organization. I'm sorry, the 5th organization.
Blue Jays have 234 home runs this year.
Everybody hits home runs in Toronto. It's the exchange rate.
It's the metric system. It doesn't seem as far.
Now you remember Bautista from the Pirates days.
Yeah.
Never saw him as that kind of threat. 50.
Late bloomer. It happens.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Gabby Sanchez. Good block by Lucroy. Count goes full now.
Blue Jays will probably be the only team in Major League Baseball with over 200 home runs this year. And they're way over 200. Actually, no. The Red Sox. They've got 199. I missed them.
Blue Jays with a low team batting average and a high home run count.
Third lowest batting average and a ton of homers.
There they are. They're getting ready. What do you like tonight in the sausage race, Rock?
I think Italian's going to have a good showing tonight. I don't know why. I just have a feeling.
Strike call. Gallardo rings up Gabby Sanchez. And he's barking at DJ Rayburn saying it's down.
I'm not sure where Gabby Sanchez thought that was, but that was certainly higher than the one that was called on Gallardo. That's right at the knees. Got to be swinging with 2 strikes on a pitch like that. Yep, high enough. Can't be barking about a call like that.
8 strikeouts for Gallardo, the first called strike 3. 2 gone. And it's Chad Tracy. Tracy singled off Gallardo his last time up. Out in the Tundra territory. Big crowd out there tonight. There's a strike. 1-1.
Boy, that's a good pitch for Gallardo tonight. That curveball. That has a sharp break on it. He's throwing it hard and he's dropping it in the strike zone. Looks good.
Tracy started the year with the Cubs. Longtime Diamondback. Didn't see much of Tracy when he was a member of the Cubs. Made 1 start against the Brewers. Mostly just pinch hit appearances though. Into center field. Here comes Kane. He is right there. Side retired. Gallardo working on a beauty here tonight. 3-0 Brewers. Series. Corey Hart, number 30 of the year, put the Brewers on the board. Then in the 5th inning, the Crew getting 2 runs. Luis Cruz started it with a triple, his first career triple in the big leagues. Hart with a 2-out base hit RBI. second RBI of the night, 96 for the season. Then Ricky Weeks with 2 outs and 2 strikes delivers with an RBI hit. Meanwhile, Giovanni Gallardo is working on a shutout through 6 innings. A 4-hitter for Gallardo that he has punched out 8. Toyota game summary. Glad you're with us tonight. Brewers baseball is winding down here at Miller Park. It's Casey McGee rips one to center, a base hit. Yeah, he stays hot. McGee with his second base hit. 2 for 3. Well, one thing never gets old here at Miller Park. That is the sausage race. Brats out a little early tonight.
My Italian, not a very good show tonight.
Italian and the Polish, very disappointing.
Yeah. You got to give a better effort than that in September.
I just don't feel like the Italian really was into it mentally from the start. He was very distracted before the race. And then the Polish is out there bossing everybody around.
Right. The Italian, you see the hat on the Italian was covering his eyes. I don't think you could see.
It's a little droopy.
You see the hat?
You make a good point. Excellent jump by the Brat today, though. Quick out of the gates. That hits Gamble. So they say he did not swing, which allows Gamble to go to first base. Now, if Gamble swings at that pitch, it is not a hit batter. It is a swinging strike. And it's a double whammy for a hitter.
Yep, and it got him right on the shin. I mean, not even close. Gamble checks his swing. Looked like he didn't go.
So Gamble's out. He'll be pinch run for, as Ken Maka will bring Carlos Gomez into the game. You know, Maka wants to make sure he has his best defenders out there for Gallardo at this point, sitting on a 3-0 lead.
Anibal Sanchez has thrown very well tonight. He gave up that home run, but the runs that the Brewers scored in the 5th inning, nothing was really hit all that well. Nothing right on the nose. This game could be very well 1-0 right now.
Here is Lucroy. Good chance for the Brewers here in the 6th. Lucroy singled his first time up, 1 for 2 at the plate. And he takes one down and out. Ball to strike. Burke Badenhop loosening for the Marlins. Once made a start against Milwaukee.
11 pitchers for the Marlins out in the bullpen. All right-handed.
Right.
Will Oman is on the list, but he's hurt. He's not available. That's according to what we've been told.
They're carrying 37 players on their active roster, but like you said, a number of those players are injured. Guys like Josh Johnson, Oman. Count stays at a ball and 2 strikes to Lucroy.
It's got to be a little disheartening for the Marlins organization that in September you can't find one lefty to bring up. So if you're Prince Fielder, you're feeling pretty good tonight.
You know you're going to see a right-hander when it counts. A lazy fly ball to left. And Morrison will make the catch. First out of the inning, Lucroy cannot advance the runners. One out, 2 on. And here's Luis Cruz. Cruz certainly earned his promotion to the big leagues this year. He had a great season in AAA Nashville, playing every day. He was the team MVP and a Pacific Coast League All-Star this year. He had 281, 10 homers, drove in 68.
And if he can do that in the big leagues, I think he'd have a pretty nice career.
Bouncing ball back up the middle. Great play by Ugla. Cannot get it out, however. Went for the acrobatic play to salvage something. But the fact that he kept it in the infield keeps McGee at third base. Saves a run for the Marlins for the time being.
You know, that's what we're talking about with Dan Ugla. He doesn't get enough credit for his defense. That ball back through the middle looked like it was going to find its way into center field. Ugla gets down and realizes as he spins around his only chance is a behind the back pass over there, and not even close, but still and only saved the run for the time being.
That even looked hard in Fox mode. Some kind of athleticism there. Body control to be able to have a chance at an out even. Well, Gallardo, a golden opportunity to add to it. 3-0 Brewers. Giovanni is 0 for 2 against Anibal Sanchez. 8 RBIs this year. He and Bronson Arroyo lead the National League. Dan Herron, it shows him as an angel right there, but started the year with the Arizona Diamondbacks, so he's still on the list. Gallardo can take over the top spot by himself. He's been known. Strike. And Gallardo spins out of there. I can't believe the reaction from Gallardo. I've never seen a pitcher complain like that.
Right, second time tonight. Last time up, he was complaining about a ball that would look like it was low. That's low. I don't blame him for that. That's not even close.
Gallardo in the left field. That's a base hit. McGee will score. Right behind him is Gomez. A snap throw to second, and Cruz is back. Just back. 2 RBIs for Giovanni Gallardo. Gives him 10 for the year, and he makes it 5-0.
Now the Brewers pitchers continue to hit. Randy Wolf with 2 hits yesterday and an RBI. It's been impressive to watch the Brewers starting rotation swing the bats this year. You know who you can thank for that? That's Marcus Hamill. Marcus throws batting practice to the pitchers every night. And Yo with 2 strikes able to dump one into left. And a good throw by Morrison, and almost able to get Cruz as he gets back to second base.
Gomez was doing all he could to catch McGee. So that'll do it for Anibal Sanchez. The Brewers put 5 runs on the board. They continue to hit. We'll take a break. June, on the 2nd of June, Gallardo went 7 innings, allowed just 1 earned run, and also hit 1 of his 4 homers this year. Not an easy place to hit the long ball. Gallardo has pitched well and hit well tonight. 1 for 3 at the plate, just drove in a pair, and he has stretched this lead to 5-0 for the Brewers. As Bert Badenhop will come on to pitch for the Marlins. Anibal Sanchez leaves after 5 1/3, 10 hits allowed, and at this point, 5 runs. Still 2 out there that belong to him. As Kane takes a strike. Brewers pick it up right where they left off last night. 13 runs on 19 hits against the Reds last night. Already in double-digit hits here tonight. Kane is 0 for 3. But a couple of hot ones that went for outs, as you see Bert Badenhop's numbers this year.
Yep, second stint with the Marlins this year. He started the year in the big leagues with Florida. He started out 0-5 with a save. Big earned run average. They sent him down to AAA and back again here beginning of July. He's been much better in his career out of the bullpen than as a starter.
Kane pops it up. Looks like it's headed for the seats. Badenhop exclusively used out of the pen this year. He had a couple of starts last year, and they brought him up at 08 as a starter. 6'5", 220. And a Bowling Green. Kane into left. And an easy play for Logan Morrison. Second out of the inning. Still 2 on, now 2 out, and here comes Corey Hart. Hart has driven it impaired tonight so far. He has 96 RBIs on 3 hits. You see his at the plate tonight, presented by Wendy's. 3 hits, a home run, a stolen base. He scored twice. And he's driven in 2. Made a nice catch in the first inning as well.
And home runs in back-to-back games for Corey.
A long ball here would put him at the doorstep of 100. It's a good shot of Corey there from the side. You could hear him talking to himself, or you could see him talking to himself. He said, wait, wait.
Wait back, stay back, drive the ball back through the middle, which he's been doing tonight.
Hard into right. Well hit. Back is Stanley's running out of room, and he'll make the catch up against the wall. Corey Hart gave it a ride, almost. Comes up a few feet short. Inning is over. The Brewers get a pair. 5-0 Milwaukee. triple hop brewed Miller Lite. Taste greatness. And by Toyota. Thank you for standing by us. For more information, visit buyatoyota.com. Now those are racing sausages, right? Miller Lite, what's on tap? The Brewers and the Marlins tomorrow at 6:30 for Brewers Live. We're on WMLW Saturday. And the finale Sunday, the last home game of 2010, Sunday afternoon. Come out and see us at the ballpark. We'd love to have you. Good crowd tonight. And expecting good crowds for this final series of the year at home. Carlos Gomez enters the game in left field for Gamble. He came in as a pinch runner for Gamble last inning. See if Gallardo can keep it going here. He's working on a 4-hit shutout. Driven in 2 runs. He has struck out 8 and has issued just the 1 walk. It's fun watching him pitch every 5th day.
Yep. Marlins had the bases loaded in the 5th. That was really the only inning he was in big trouble.
That one's hit well to right. A base hit. Cut off by Hart. Stanton has 2 hits. It just destroys the baseball.
The ball just jumps off his bat, doesn't it? But Giovanni Gallardo hadn't been too bad tonight himself. He's walked 1. He's allowed only 5 base hits. Hasn't allowed a run yet. 8 strikeouts. 7 of the 8 have been swinging variety. The curveball is back, partner. Officially, the curveball's back. And he's had 2 consecutive starts where that has been a good pitch for him. And he needs it. You know, there was a period of time there after he came off the disabled list. He just wasn't throwing it.
Well, Gallardo has a chance at another 200 strikeout season.
He's got 195 right now.
With his 8 tonight. He'll have 1 more start. That'll be against the New York Mets. That one's hit well. Left center. Kane is able to cut it off. So back-to-back hits for the Marlins to start this 7th inning. From the bottom of their order.
Yeah, both base hits were hit right on the nose. There's that hanging slider, and Davis able to center on it and shoot it right back in the middle. Second time he's hit the ball hard tonight.
So 2 hits for Davis. Marlins are going to send up a pinch hitter, Scott Cousins. He'll hit for Badenhop. So Badenhop goes 2/3 of an inning. And no runs. Scott Cousins hitting .261 this season. Just 23 at bats. He's 6 for 23. Gallardo hoping for a ground ball double play here. Bullpen activity with Manny Parra and Cameron Lowe. Cousins, one of the many rookies on this Marlins club. A September call-up. Hit 285 in AAA this year in New Orleans. Swing and a miss. 1-2 the count.
Man, it's got a nice late sharp break as it gets to home plate, and really the Marlins have made contact on that curveball all night. No base hits coming off the curveball. Been able to keep it down and keep it off the barrel of the bat.
Pitch count is over 100 now for Gallardo. It's at 101. Brewers with a 5-0 lead. Gallardo's 2 RBI single gave him the 5-run cushion, and he's going to need it here as he strikes out Scott Cousins. That is number 9 for Gallardo.
Yep, steady diet of curveballs. Then he elevated the fastball in mid-90s for Yo. Still throwing pretty hard. Out of the zone, up and away, and he swings right through it. curveball, high fastball. See you later. Yo has been in very good rhythm, and Jonathan Lucroy has been leading him well tonight.
Cameron Maben now. Tough guy to double up. He runs well. And a hot shot back up the middle. Base hit. And around third, coming home is Stanton. That ball gets by Kane. Another run's going to score. Maben is on his way to third. And 2 runs are in. As Lorenzo Cain cannot come up with the base hit cleanly.
Yeah, that'll be an RBI from Maben, and the second run Davis scores on the error by Lorenzo Cain, and now a base hit or a fly ball gets the Marlins to within 2 runs. Hit that one right on the nose. There's the first curveball for a base hit, taking some hops as it gets out there. Got to make that play. We're going to have a play anyway at home plate. That one goes off his wrist. And his momentum coming in hard toward the infield. Took him a while to get back and get the baseball.
Second error for Lorenzo Cain. So Maben ends up at third base with 1 out. Boy, those 2 runs for the Brewers in the 6th on the Gallardo single looking big now.
Marlins getting some good swings in this inning. Yeah, the first curveball that he's made a mistake on all night, and Maben able to pound it into center field.
Now the Brewers have their infield back. They'll concede the run to get the out. Three hits in the inning for Florida. Well, that's been a tough pitch on Ozzie Martinez tonight. He's chased that one every time up.
Just not seeing that of Gallardo's hand very well. Another curveball. This one down in the zone.
Bouncing ball to third. McGee looks the runner back. 2 outs.
Brewers got a break there. About the only place that Martinez could have hit it without scoring a run. A 1 hopper to Casey. There's a break. Now it's up to Yo to finish it off.
I tell you, it's a small thing too, but if you watch Luis Cruz from the shortstop position, he changes the thought of Cameron Maben as well. Instead of, he knows he has to break back, but watch Cruz here from short. He comes over knowing maybe there'll be a play. It's a good heads up shortstop.
You always have somewhere to go. Why not, right?
Oh, you love seeing that. It's always a base to back up or a base to cover, and kind of got to go through it in your mind before the pitch. You got to know the ball's hit here, I'm going here. It's hit out there, I'm going to go to this spot.
Anticipate, right? You got to think out there. A lot of time to stand around. You might as well use your head.
Logan Morrison with a runner at third and 2 away. Now Morrison is 0 for 3 tonight. He's still riding a 41 game on base streak.
Down in the count 2-0. You don't want to walk Morrison and have to face Ugla representing the tying run.
And it's 3-0. Two outs, runner at third. And Gallardo will try to come all the way back. And he lost him, and the streak is alive. 42 consecutive games on base.
That might be it for Yo.
Yep, Here comes Ken Maka. So Gallardo cannot get through the 7th. 5-2, the Brewers lead it. Dan Uggla will bat, representing the tying run when we come back.
Morrison attended the same junior college that Albert Pujols did, and that walk extends Logan Morrison's streak to 42 consecutive games reaching base. And guess who owns the rookie record for most consecutive games with being on base? And it's Albert Pujols with 46. Logan Morrison with 42 right now. We'll see if he can catch the guy that he went to the same junior college with.
All right. So Telly bringing it all together for us as Cameron Lowe is in to pitch, and Rock Lowe is in a tough spot here, 1st and 3rd, with Dan Uggla, big power hitter, coming up for the Marlins.
They got to keep the ball down, try to get that ground ball, get out of this mess. This is about the last guy you want to see up in this situation, representing the tying run. A couple of outings ago, Cameron Lowe gave up a couple of long balls. He's given up 6 this year. In 50 appearances for Lowe, it's been a nice season for Cameron Lowe.
5-2, the Marlins threatening here in the 7th. 2 runs are in. Uggla with 31 homers, 98 runs batted in. Last time up, he singled against Gallardo to right. And Lowe has fallen behind him, 2-0. Only faced him once, Dan Uggla. And Lowe is a much different pitcher back then. There's a strike. Sinker ball. It's a good thing about Lowe, even when he falls behind in the count, he has such good movement with his fastball.
He really you don't have to sit on the corners if you're catching Cameron Lowe. You sit inner half, outer half, and let the natural movement take over.
There it is. 2-2.
A little bit of a cut, a little bit of a sink, sometimes a four-seam it when he goes up in his zone.
Tying run at the plate. Lowe trying to get out of this 7th. Hit hard to left. Base hit, RBI for Uggla. And it's 5-3. The Brewers' lead has been cut down to 2 in this inning. And the Marlins still at it in the 7th.
And that ball hit very hard. Lucro was setting up on the outside corner. He left it right down the middle. Got behind 2-0. And the first two pitches not really close. The slider just missed up a little bit. And the sinkers start to take over. You can see where he ends up. Watch Lucroy on this 2-2 pitch. And watch where it ends up. He wanted it on the corner. Ended up down the middle and it was up. And Ugla pounds it into left field.
Now the Marlins have the go-ahead run at the plate. Gabby Sanchez starts it with a breaking ball. Beauty. Sanchez is 0 for 2, make it 0 for 3. He reached in the second inning, but it was on a swinging strike 3. Gallardo had struck him out, but a wild pitch allowed him to first base. Gallardo anxiously watching. 6 2/3 tonight for the Brewers ace. 2 on, 2 out. In the air. Ricky Weeks will call it. Side retired. The Marlins get 3. 5-3 Brewers. Milwaukee coming up.
Set for Brewers Line postgame presented by Lincoln Mercury. Ricky Weeks set to lead off. He's batting in the 3-hole in this game. Could be a glimpse of the future. He may not be leading off next year.
Well, that certainly could be a possibility, and I think eventually, somewhere down the line, they always felt that Ricky was going to be either a 3-hole hitter or probably a 5-hole hitter.
At an RBI his last time up. He's got 80 on the season. Brad Fisher joining us for the on-field instruction.
That's right. We're going to talk about the duties over at third base.
All right, looking forward to that, Brian.
All right, Craig Davey, thank you. As we head to the home 7th, Cameron Lowe gets out of a mess. 1 run does come in on Lowe, and it finishes off Gallardo's night. 6 2/3 with 3 runs allowed. Giovanni's in line for the win, however, and we are ready for a major league debut. Sandy Rosario will pitch for the Florida Marlins, and he'll face Weeks, Fielder, and McGee. Welcome to the big leagues.
Yeah, how about that? I'll tell you, he started the year in single A. He got promoted to double A, and here he is in the major leagues.
Speaking of big leaguers, salty old dogs, Dwayne Rodriguez, that is one of our great cameramen, and it is his final game of the season tonight.
Really? Where's he going?
Well, he's got
games left.
He's got people. He's got things to do. He's got a sock drawer to rearrange.
Better option guy?
It's only one of those. Ricky Weeks sends one deep left field. That's got a chance. And it is gone. Ricky Weeks on the first pitch thrown in the big leagues by Sandy Rosario belts out his 28th homer of the year. And it's 6-3 Milwaukee.
Well, started out a rough night for Ricky, but he's 2 for his last 2 and 2 RBIs. Well, you figure things are going to start getting better for Rosario after that start. It can't get much worse. One pitch at 95 miles an hour, and it leaves the ballpark. Well, the Brewers needed that. They got their 3-run lead back.
Weeks now with 81 runs batted in, 2 RBIs tonight, 28 homers for Ricky. That one's hit far, fair or foul, and it is a home run for Fielder.
Well, maybe not. Maybe it's not going to get better for him. Back-to-back hitters, the first 2 he's faced. And both of them rockets off the bat of Ricky Weeks and Prince Fielder. Wow. The only question for Prince is whether it's going to be fair or not. Yeah, Prince looked like he knew right away it was going to be fair. Pulls the hands in and does his best to straighten it out, and that's exactly what he does.
7-3 Brewers as Fielder belts his 31st home run of the year. Boy, that ball was scalded. Just hooked it inside the foul pole down the right field line.
Almost hit Craig and Davey down there.
Yeah, that's their spot.
Everybody all right down there?
Shaking up the lights down on the Fox Sports Wisconsin Brewers live set. So the Brewers get their runs back quickly. Weeks and Fielder go back-to-back. Two guys that grew up playing junior league ball in Florida. These guys go back to their teenage years. Ricky's a couple of years older than Prince. Something though. I mean, we're around them every day, but you forget the story that Weeks and Fielder, they've known each other, been playing on the same teams at various travel teams since Ricky was 13 and Fielder was 11. And here they are sitting next to each other on a big league bench, going back to back with home runs. McGee into right field. That ball's hit well. Back is Stanton in the corner, and it is a fair ball down in the corner. Weeks is, or rather, McGee is in with a double.
Has some kind of power to the opposite field, and that's going to be it for Rosario. A very rough start to his major league career. 3 batters up, 2 home runs, and a double. Well, maybe not. Going to have a chat with the young man out there. Started the year in A-ball. Spent most of the year in Double-A. Pitched in the playoffs in Double-A. And Casey McGee missed his RBI number 100 by about 5 feet.
Just off the glove of Mike Stanton in right field. So Randy St. Clair has had his say. Back-to-back homers, then a double from McGee. 7-3 Brewers on 13 hits.
He's got a good arm, does Rosario, but he's getting an awful lot of the plate with it. You got to figure he's a bit nervous out there. Why wouldn't you be? At some point, you got to settle in and throw your game. Brewers getting some very good swings off of Rosario in this inning.
Carlos Gomez. Well, it's asking a lot to push a guy from the South Atlantic League to the big leagues. Started the year in A-ball. Pitching for Greensboro. It's quite a jump. Single A, double A, big leagues. Very similar to what John Axford did last year. He and Josh Butler both started the year in A ball, and because they were a little bit older, the Brewers pushed them to the major leagues.
And rehabbing from injury, and they went through every level of the minor leagues and into the big leagues last year.
Broken back, going to be a tough play. Ugla, no chance. Gomez just flying down the line. Wow. A lot of power and a lot of speed in this inning as Gomez beats one out for an infield hit. And 4 consecutive hits to start it.
Yeah, the Brewers with 3 home runs, and the similarities in the swings are basically the location of the fastballs. Check it out, right down the middle for Ricky, and inner half for Prince Fielder. Prince Fielder with a much higher finish, but they both count the same. And Prince has went about 100 feet further.
Jonathan Lucroy. 7-3 Brewers. Marlins tightened it up. They actually put the tying run on in the top of this inning, scoring 3 times. Lucroy started the year in Double-A. Was sent to Triple-A, eventually the big leagues. They thought maybe Lucroy would be a September call-up this year. Forced into duty, though, when Greg Zahn was out for the season. Injured his shoulder.
And Jonathan playing in his 69th game tonight.
You just kind of take the offensive numbers and put them aside, because most of what he's had to deal with comes as a catcher, learning the opposition, learning his own pitchers, learning the language of his pitching coach.
I talked to Brad Fisher about that today, and there's a lot that goes into scouting reports and game plans these days that really didn't exist back in the old days. You're talking 10, 15 years ago, but it is very complex these days, and it's a tough thing for a young catcher to process when he's trying to feel comfortable in his own right. Worried about getting your own job done, and all of a sudden you got to sit back there, you got to think through the scouting report, who's up, who's pitching, what the situation is. It's a lot to process for a young catcher.
The Brewers feel like Lucroy will hit. He's always been a hitter, whatever level he's played at in the minor leagues. And you figure once he settles in, he'll have a chance to be the everyday catcher to start the season next year. And you figure Lucroy will hit in the big leagues.
I'll tell you what, I'd take 260 out of Lucroy for a career. It's not going to be a home run hitter. Get on base, maybe draw a few more walks. That'll come with maturity and experience. But I tell you, 260 is not bad.
To right field, a base hit. That's what he does so well. Gomez will test the arm. The throw is in time. What a cannon from right field by Mike Stanton.
Man,
throwing out Carlos Gomez by plenty.
That guy's something, isn't he? Well, that wasn't even close. And you very rarely see Gomez get caught on the bases like that on a relatively routine base hit to right. The ball was hit pretty well by Jonathan. Stays back nicely on it, but check this arm out. A frozen rope all the way in the air, and Gomez an easy out at third base. That's an impressive throw.
They talk about 5-tool players. You're looking at one right there, Mike Stanton. 6'5", 220. Runs well, throws well, and guns down Gomez. RBI for Lucroy, though. It's 8-3.
Rosario still has not retired a hitter. Been a rough start.
5 consecutive hits. The first 2 home runs. Weeks in fielder. Luis Cruz has 2 hits tonight. Manny Parr looks like he'll have the 8th.
He's got a good arm, doesn't he? 96. He's got some movement on it. He's just getting a little bit too much of the plate and really hasn't shown the ability to throw a breaking ball for a strike. That's the key.
They've just gone final in New York. The Tampa Bay Rays beat the Yankees 10-3. Rays won the final 2 games of that series and are now back within a half game of the Yankees for the American League East lead. They beat Sabathia tonight. Cruz pulls it foul. Final stays at 2-2. David Price winning over CC Sabathia. Sabathia is now 20-7. Tampa Bay with a 7-run 6th inning.
I was going to say, last time I looked, the Yankees had a 2-0 lead.
Sabathia chased in that 6th, that 7-run 6th. It's 2-1 Yankees going into that inning. Sabathia gave up all 7 runs in 5 1/3. The start following his career best 20th win. David Price is now 18-6. Cruz into shallow center field, coming in Maven, and he's got it for the out. Had him played shallow, and Cruz is out. The first out recorded at the plate for Sandy Rosario. 2 outs in the inning. And here comes Joe England. He'll pinch hit for Cameron Lowe. England off the bench with a runner at first. And Sanchez will take it to the bag. The inning is over, but a productive inning for the Crew. Back-to-back homers from Weeks and Fielder. 3 runs total. the Brewers weather forecast sent to your phone. Text keyword forecast to short code 234-234. Click on the link. Brewers have opened it up here. 8-3 is the score. The Brewers have pounded out 15 hits in this game, as Manny Parra will take over on the mound to work the 8th against the Florida Marlins.
Yeah, pitched a scoreless inning on Tuesday against the Reds. He struck out the side. His last 6 appearances have come out of the bullpen and have been scoreless innings and scoreless appearances for Manny Parra. 40th appearance, 16 of them starts. He's been much better out of the bullpen this year.
Home runs from the big boppers tonight. Weeks with his 28th. Prince Fielder with his 31st. And back in the first inning, Corey Hart with number 30. Hart has 3 hits and 2 RBIs tonight. A night after the Brewers score 13 runs on 19 hits. 8 runs on 15 hits tonight.
You know, against 2 pretty good starting pitchers. Think about it. Johnny Cueto, he was on a roll for the Reds, and Anibal Sanchez has been throwing well. Go figure. This is an offense that's tough to figure out.
Two and nothing on Chad Tracy, as Parra hopes for a clean inning here. Manny had a scoreless inning back on Tuesday. Did give up a triple to Brandon Phillips, but struck out the side in that outing Tuesday night. And he walks Tracy on 4 straight. Not a good start. Our Ho-Chunk Gaming Wisconsin text the broadcast. Question: Stephen Fond du Lac. Does the home plate umpire ask or tell the catcher as to who throws the new ball to the pitcher?
What was that again?
I'm trying to figure that out myself. So, does the home plate umpire ask or tell?
No, well, the home plate umpire would throw it back unless he really doesn't want to.
Unless he's got a bad arm.
You know, some umpires don't like to throw the ball back. You're right. I mean, some of them can't throw. Some of them have bad arms. Some of them just, you know, drop it in the catcher's glove, and, you know, that's determined early on.
That would be more like a tell, I would imagine. It's not necessarily a request. It's a courtesy. I don't think the umpires are asking, hey, well, would you mind throwing the ball for me today?
No, they tell the catcher
they say,
what
here,
to do.
Here's the ball.
You're throwing.
Get it to him.
So you get a foul ball, the catcher, you know, throws his glove back, the umpire puts it in there, and he throws it back to the pitcher.
You know who throws the ball the fastest as an umpire?
Who's that?
Jim Wolf. He throws BBs back to the mound.
He's got a pitcher for a brother.
Yeah, Randy Wolf.
Probably played pitcher and catcher together when they were growing up. He's got a good arm, I'd imagine.
Like stand here. Man, I'll tell you what, this guy is somebody to watch. I mean, the bat speed is incredible. Menacing figure at the plate.
You know, and then the harder he swings, you know, he's really not doing much of a service to himself. He's just got a nice short stroke, and he doesn't have to swing hard for the ball to jump off his bat. That's something you learn. Sometimes you never learn that. Always going to muscle up when you're feeling good. You're expecting the fastball.
2-2 pitch. Down he goes. Parra went with a fastball, and Stanton Chase.
Yep, 95 miles an hour for Manny. That'll get it done out of the bullpen. Then you throw that fastball and splitter. You go through the lineup one time. That's why he's been so effective out of the bullpen. That high fastball, mid-90s.
Todd Coffey gets loose. But for now, it's Parra's inning here in the 8th. Brad Davis at the plate. Davis with 2 hits tonight against Gallardo. Scored a run. 8-3 Milwaukee, 8th inning. Brewers trying to get to the finish line tonight via their offense. Gallardo is in line for the win. Giovanni looking for his 14th win of the season after 6 2/3 innings and 3 earned runs. Struck out 9 tonight.
Manny fired up out there tonight, isn't he? 96 miles an hour.
Got that one right by Brad Davis. Another one at 96. Up there in a hitter's count, too.
This is where he dropped that splitter on him and sit him down. That pitcher out started about the knees and let it drop out of the zone. See you later.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Fastball just got a piece. By the way, if Gallardo wins this game, it'll be a career high for him. Giovanni won 13 last year. Another fastball.
Well, just keep pumping the fastball. I think Manny's trying to see how much he can leg that gun up tonight. One fastball after the other at 96, 95 miles an hour.
Two balls, 2 strikes on Davis. Got him. Swing and a miss. There's the splitter for the out. Back-to-back strikeouts for Manny Parra.
Ask and you shall receive. Get the splitter.
Good call. What are you messing around with the fastball for, Rock?
I was talking to Jonathan today, and he kind of gave me the scouting report what they're going to do with Manny when he comes in. Fastball splitter. That takes no genius, does it?
I don't buy that. I think you see the game well up here. You could call a big league game right now if you wanted to, and get multiple outs.
As long as somebody else catches.
Wes Helms, the former Brewer, will bat for the Marlins. Wes Helms helped his old club back in 2008. Got a big hit, big home run against the New York Mets. Remember, it was the Marlins that beat the Mets on the final day of the 08 season. Willie Randolph's Mets. Allowed the Brewers to get into the playoffs.
That was a great day.
What started as Willie Randolph's Mets, I should say. Hit hard. Weeks makes the play. Easy out at second. After the hard part, getting it in the glove. Game of a 4-game series, and it started with a bang. Corey Hart with a first-inning home run, his 30th homer of the year. The Brewers got back-to-back home runs from Ricky Weeks and Prince Fielder. That was in the 7th, part of a 3-run 7th. And the Brewers opened up their lead. 8-3 is our score. Gallardo is in line for win number 14. 6 2/3 tonight for Giovanni. Also drove in 2 with a 2 RBI single that came in the 6th inning. Crowd of over 31,000 on hand tonight. And an 8-3 Milwaukee lead as Jose Seda is on the pitch. Just his 6th appearance this year.
Another guy that started in A-ball, then went to Double-A. A teammate of Sandy Rosario just about all year. How about these Marlins giving some very inexperienced pitchers some big league time here in September.
Rosario gave up 3 runs in his major league debut. Just 1 inning. He'll never forget his major league debut in Milwaukee. The first 5 batters he faced reached on hits. 2 homers, a double, and 2 singles.
He's going to want to forget it, but he won't be able to until he gets out there again.
He got it over with.
Of course, you never forget your major league debut, good, bad, or indifferent.
The first pitch he threw in the big leagues, Weeks hit it out.
The first and third pitch he threw left the facility.
But he's in the baseball encyclopedia. He's a big leaguer.
That's right.
Lorenzo Cain in the leadoff spot tonight. He's 0 for 4. Doesn't really tell the story as he's buzzed again. That's too high and tight to Cain. And he'll draw the walk, a base runner in the 8th inning.
Yeah, Jose Seda was acquired from the Chicago Cubs in that Kevin Gregg deal back in 08. And having some control issues.
It'll be Corey Hart here, trying to add to an already impressive night at the plate. 3 hits for Hart, 2 RBIs, had a home run in the first, an RBI single with 2 outs in the 5th inning. Has a stolen base as well. A couple of runs scored.
All the base runners for the Brewers tonight, and that was the first walk of the night issued by the Marlins. 15 hits, 1 walk, and 1 hit batter.
Count stays at 1-2. Well, earlier today, the Giants, on the strength of a 9-run 2nd inning, beat the Cubs 13-0. Madison Bumgarner, with rookie lefty, won his 6th game. Little bouncer back up the middle, on the bag for 1. Martinez makes the play for 2. 6-3 double play. 2 gone in the 8th. U.S. Cellular text to vote. Want to know what your pick is for the Brewers MVP this season? Text your answer to 234-234. W for Weeks, X for McGee, Y for John Axford, and Z for Corey Hart. And the results for you at the end of the week. And here is Ricky Weeks. 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs. Now 81 RBIs to go along with those 28 home runs. Batting 3rd tonight for the injured Ryan Braun, who was hit by a pitch last night, left elbow bruise. And he's listed as day-to-day.
It'd be nice to see Ricky get a couple of more home runs. How about that? Would be 3 guys with 30 or more homers. It's possible.
Absolutely. 2 are there already, Hart and Fielder. Prince hit his 31st tonight.
3 more games here at Miller Park. Then you go to New York. That ballpark, Citi Field, tough to hit homers. Particularly in September, they're a little bit heavier. But then the Brewers finish out 3 games in Cincinnati. Might be the easiest ballpark to hit home runs.
Reds are off tonight. They will match up with the Padres in San Diego tomorrow. San Diego is in Los Angeles tonight. They're tied at 1 in the 3rd. Matt Latos against Hiroki Kuroda tonight. Padres need a big start from Latos. He has emerged as their ace in just his first full season in the big leagues.
Yeah, got roughed up a bit his last time out.
So with the Giants already winning, at this moment the Giants are tied with the Padres. San Diego could go a half up or a half down depending on what they do tonight in LA. Weeks is down on strikes. Inning is over and we head to the 9th. Last call for the Fish. Well, Giovanni Gallardo is our Menards player of the game tonight. Gallardo in line for his 14th win, 6 2/3 innings, gives up 3 runs, 9 strikeouts for Gallardo. He was working on a shutout through the first 6 innings, but ran into some trouble in the 7th. Gallardo also drove in 2 runs. He was 1 for 3 at the plate. Gives him 10 RBIs. Cameron Lowe went a 1/3 of an inning to get out of the mess in the 7th. Manny Parra a scoreless 8th, and now it is Todd Coffey in the pitch.
Yeah, 65th appearance for Todd this year, a 455 earned run average. Bullpen's been pretty good so far tonight. Coffey last pitched on Tuesday against the Reds, struck out the only 2 batters he faced. That was in the 6th inning with the bases loaded.
Cameron Maybin will lead off, top of the order for the Marlins. It's been a day of milestones across big league baseball. Jose Bautista of the Blue Jays with his 50th home run in a 1-0 Blue Jays win over the Mariners. That was earlier today at Rogers Center in Toronto. Ichiro in that game collected his 200th hit of his season gives him 10 straight years of 200 or more hits. And that is a major league record. 10 consecutive seasons, 200 hits. That's incredible.
He's got to be a Hall of Famer if you think about it, right?
I think so.
I mean, how can he not?
Yep, I agree. MVP, Rookie of the Year. It's only been here a decade, but it's been a memorable decade for Ichiro. One and two. Got in on his hands. Count stays at a ball and 2 strikes. Wonder how long Ichiro will play. I think he's got a couple of years left in him. Japanese teams always try to court him back to Japan. You got a feeling Ichiro might finish his career in Japan. Kind of a farewell tour. He's got a couple of years left on a contract. So McGee makes a play. Maben is retired. 1 out in the 9th.
Yeah, a couple more years with the Seattle Mariners. What is that, about 440 hits?
That's what I'm thinking.
Man. Well, good pitch by Todd Coffey. One of those sinkers in on the hands of Maben, and a one hopper to Casey.
If you're wondering, Ichiro has 2,230 career hits in 10 big league seasons. Just to finish that off. That's a lot of hits in 10 years, Rock.
Yeah, it is. That's a lot of hits in double that amount of years.
The National League hits leader is Carlos Gonzalez with 188 of the Rockies.
He'll probably get to 200.
It'll be close. There won't be many National Leaguers with 200 hits. Matter of fact, Ryan Braun is second in the league in hits with 180. So he is going to have to go a lot. First thing, he's got to get healthy and get back in the lineup. Another ground ball. Cruz gobbles it up. 2 outs. Coffey doing what he does best, getting the ground ball out. The Brewers dropped the first 2 of this homestand to the Reds. And a chance to win back-to-back games with 3 left. Final homestand of the year. Hope you'll come out and join us. You'll miss it. Logan Morrison. He has already extended his own base streak at 42 now. After he walked in the 7th. He's the last hope for the Marlins in the 9th. Another ground ball. And that'll do it. Nice win for the Brewers tonight. Another double-digit hit total. 8 runs on 15 hits for the Brew Crew. Home runs from Fielder and Weeks and Corey Hart. 8-3 the final score. And Giovanni Gallardo, a career-high 14 wins now after 6 2/3 tonight. Still much more to come. We check in with Craig Kashan out to right field in a Fox Sports Wisconsin Brewers live set.
All right, Brian. Hey, we'll bring out some more home runs down here. Why not? Prince Fielder getting in the act tonight. The Brewers offense exploding for the 2nd straight night, pitching right there as well. Lots to talk about when we continue. Brewers Live post-game presented by Lincoln Mercury on the way.